Alright, hello everybody. It's the end of the month of August now. Sorry in advance if I look a little bit disheveled. It's been hot as hell, so I'm wearing my cut-off Metallica shirt. My hair is all frizzy. I'm almost at the end of my iced coffee from a new place that actually opened in Salem. But yeah, we're here for pickups, as usual, as I usually do, I think. I'm not even sure if I do it consistently anymore, but we're going to start with Switch games. We'll end on some PS4 games, but we'll start with Switch games like we've been doing. It's a pretty modest set. This is everything right here. But, I've kind of just been getting into I don't want to just buy everything and let it keep piling up and spend a lot of time on eBay and stuff looking for things. I just want to buy what really interests me, or what seems like too good to pass up if I'm on like eBay or something. Because I check the Clutter store every day. Sometimes they get good stuff. Something I haven't seen pops up. There's 2 or 3 things in here from there, but mostly this is stuff that I specifically wanted, especially with the Switch stuff. So starting off, I've actually been playing this game. This is a really, really cool game. And it's, oddly enough, it's a remake of an old Famicom game. This is Penguin Wars, published by Dispatch Games, and I know I've seen that somewhere before. I can't actually figure out what else they published recently. But it's like it's kind of like a penguin-y, super adorable, starring penguins and rabbits and all this stuff. Really bright and like dance hall-y, to put it that way. There's a lot of like game show-ness about it, but it's like kind of like dodgeball. It's like a sport, but it's never referred to as a sport. You just throw balls at the other thing and try to hit the other person and reduce down their health, and then sometimes there's gimmicks to the things. There's boss fights. It's really cool though, and it's a $30 game. This was actually really weird though. The first time I heard of it, I'll show you the back a little bit while I'm talking. The first time I heard of it was about a week before it was supposed to come out originally, because I saw it was the first week of August, and it said on Amazon it had a release date of August 15th, which was like a week, maybe 8 days after I saw it. And I was like, cool, order immediately. And then it ended up being one of those games where there was either not really a whole lot of consensus on what day it was supposed to come out, because it's such a small publisher, or Amazon just didn't get any, or some retailers just didn't get any. I ended up canceling because I was like, listen, if you're not going to give me my discount, which is over, by the way, the 20% for Prime members is officially over. That was the last day for that was August 28th. I was like, you're not going to give me my discount. I'm going to get my money's worth out of my Best Buy GCU while that's still good. I'm going to cancel it. Matt, who also pre-ordered it, still hasn't gotten his, even though it's in stock. It's one of those games where they didn't ship them out until they knew how many they had, and so it's kind of delayed. But I forgot about it for like a week, and then I went to Best Buy the other day and I just grabbed it, because Best Buy didn't have it the day, like the 15th. They had it initially they had it as like the 31st or something, just by the end of August, and then they had it as the 22nd. By the 22nd, I had forgotten about it, and then I remembered it the other day. I went and I just grabbed it, and I've been playing it. It's a lot of fun. So that was way too long about Penguin Wars. I promise I won't spend that long talking about everything else. These two kind of go together, because this company, Merge Games, who published Brawl Out, which I think came out towards the end of June, they've been snapping up some cheaper titles that are worth publishing. This game, the Coma here, I've never played this before. I hadn't really heard of it before. It's sort of like a horror visual novel thing. It might be a little bit too. It says it's Korean, but you always want to kind of look at stuff and be like, oh, it's a little bit too Japanese for me. So we'll see how that goes. But the horror aspect of it interests me, as does this. This is a game, Slain Back from Hell, that is clearly meant to be like Castlevania, along with another game, Bloodstained, which I'm dying to get a physical release of some kind. But anyway, Slain has been on the PS4 and had a physical release on the PS4 for I want to say a year, and I've come super close to buying it so many times because it's got like this really cool like metal soundtrack, and that really interested me along with it. It's gory and it's mature and it's very dark. It's a pretty decent side scroller, but most of all, it was just the tone of it that really interested me. And then as soon as I heard it was coming out on the Switch, I was like, okay, I'm ordering it. Good, I don't have to fork over like $35 for the particular PS4 release I'm trying to get, because like one of them was like a big box one. It was only like $10 more. But in any case, I really wanted to get that. But any Switch release trumps, that any PS4 release basically. We got Coda Princess EX, and I wish that I had started playing this game and continued to be more excited about it. I did not realize this game, which came out on the 3DS a while ago, I think published by Atlas. It's not a JRPG, as you would imagine from looking at the cover. It's actually more of a beat-em-up, directly inspired by Guardian Heroes. So unashamedly inspired by Guardian Heroes that they put this tagline on the back of this release: be the guardian of 50-plus heroes. So in case you didn't know what kind of game this is, if you've ever played Guardian Heroes, this is that type of game. It's a RPG-styled, but mostly it's a hack-and-slash beat-em-up thing. And it's really cool. It has a lot of really cool art style stuff going for it, but I've had other stuff to play, especially Penguin Wars, so I played this for like half an hour, and I have not picked it up since. But it is a Nicalis release, so it has a manual. It has one of those little mini soundtracks that you'll never listen to in reversible art. So it's really nice. It's a nice release, and it's Nicalis. I will give them my money every time. Almost every time. I don't think I'm getting Blade Strangers, because I can't just grab every fighting game when I'm never going to play them. And then finally for Switch, this is a game I probably won't play for maybe 3 years, but it was such a nice looking release that I had to get it. This is the 25th anniversary collector's edition of Flashback, which is a game from the Super Nintendo / Super Nintendo era in general that you've probably seen before, and you'd be kind of confused, like, why does this game need another release? And I'm like, I don't know, but damn, they made this thing look really cool. However, that does come with a caveat. So you've got this outer box here. You've got a regular Switch case with the game in it. This is a voucher for the soundtrack, which is cool. And then this has been a point of contention for people I've seen that have gone so far as to rate this game 1 star on Amazon. This is a thing that I hate when people do, when they completely overreact to stuff and they rate 1 star on Amazon, usually without ever having played the game. These people have basically admitted a lot of times that they really like the game. One guy gave it 3 stars or 4 stars or whatever, and I was like, that's more fair. But people have been just shitting on this release so much. So they have this other inner steelbook case thing that fits. It's the size of the box, and it has a little collector's card in here. And only yesterday I was actually looking at it, and I managed to I figured out how to get this card to stay. So that was rattling around a little bit. But there's a spot for the Switch card in here, but it's a little bit too big for it. It doesn't start flying around, at least not mine. But that's what I've heard that people complained about. As well as the fact that the manual, and there is a manual, you got to be happy with that has a lot of, like, the whole end of the manual is basically designed to show off the environments and the sprites and stuff. Literally half the manual, 12 out of 24 pages, is bonus content. But there's a real manual in it, and everybody I saw was complaining about the fact that the manual doesn't fit in the Switch case, because the manual is the size of the Switch case. And I'm like, yeah, because they gave you a big box for it, so that you could put it on the shelf like this in the big box, and it would look nice. I have no complaints over the fact that the manual is sized not to fit in the Switch case or this steel box, but the box it came in. People are rating 1 star on Amazon for that, and I'm like, that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. I get that it's not the best. Like the other little things, the fact that the Switch card doesn't stay in if you wanted to use the steel case for it, I kind of get that, but like overall, this is a really, really nice package. And maybe you could take off like 1 star, maybe 1.5 stars, but I cannot believe people are overreacting so hard to this. But anyway, yeah, so that's all the Switch games for this month. I may never play this game, but I really, really liked the package. And that is when you you are a collector. It's like, for a Switch, yeah, hell yeah, I'm a collector. I love the Switch, and I'll wear that on my sleeve, which I have none of right now. 3 PS2 games, all of which I actually ordered off of Declutter, because that's basically what I'm doing with buying PS2 games, especially PS2, because that's where I see stuff creep up that is so unusual and I've never seen, or it is way cheaper because it's like not in huge demand. So, like this one isn't in huge demand because it sucks. But I love Super Monkey Ball so much that eventually I kind of caved and had to get the Super Monkey Ball Adventure, which I paid like $4 for. It's terrible. All I've ever heard is that it's absolute garbage. But it is Super Monkey Ball, and I love Super Monkey Ball, and I will try it one day and see how garbage it is. You don't need to play Super Monkey Ball on anything but the GameCube, and this game's on the GameCube, but you can get it super cheap on PS2, so I did. This game here, DT Carnage, again, looks like complete trash, actually, especially because it's I believe, in the same series as one particularly shovelware game for the PS2 called DT Racer, which was published by XS. But DT Carnage, I checked it out of curiosity when I saw it. I was like, is that game any good? Or is it just garbage in the vein of DT Racer? Had actually surprisingly good ratings on GameFAQs. It's on PS2 and Wii. And again, this was like $4. I'm like, car combat? Give it to me. Like, I gotta have it, you know? So that is cool. I have so many car combat games now that, you know, I don't know if I'll ever get to all of them, but just car combat in general I have to have, because I love it. And third for the PS2, I never see this game for PS2 anymore. I only ever see it for Xbox. And it's not to be confused with another PS2 game about pirates that is not published by EA. It's published by Valcom, called Pirates Legend of the Black Buccaneer. This is Legend of Black Cat, and it's supposed to be a really good game. So basically, I think I paid like $6 for this. But I basically was like, you know what? As soon as a PS2 one comes around for the same price, I'll get it for that. Because it's like, okay, the minimum, like, well, you could pay that much for an Xbox copy, but okay, I'll pay that much for a PS2 copy. It's a little bit better. One 360 game that I actually just grabbed today. I have not heard the best things about this, but I have started to love the Wolfenstein, the rebooted series at the very least, so much that I had to eventually get around to playing the 2009 Wolfenstein. Yeah, the New Order is where this series reboot really, really picks up, but this is sort of like I've gotten to the point I really love Wolfenstein. I'm dying to play Wolfenstein 2, but I have so much stuff to get to that I specifically was like, okay, what are you going to play for, you know, each system? If you need to start tackling your backlog, pick a system and pick one of the games that you labeled. Wolfenstein 2 is one of those games. This I probably won't play for a while, because I've not heard as good things about it. One original Xbox game. This is when you get down to, like, okay, this is a very interesting game to me. I don't think it's supposed to be very good, but this is Loons: The Fight for Fame. It's like basically like an arena brawler. I think it's like a Power Stone style arena brawler. That's what I say. And no game that I've ever said that about has been anywhere near as good as Power Stone. Usually they're pretty bad, from what I've heard. But this is a game that's only on the Xbox. And what really interests me about it is that there's a lot of, like, film parody stuff in it. So it's got, like, a good sense of humor, even if the game's not that great. So I think that's pretty cool. I'm totally into that. This and a DS game go hand in hand. These are two more things. I actually got this one off Declutter, and I didn't get this one, but I was like, you know what? I got to get the other one that I know about. These are two Agatha Christie based, basically adventure games. This one has a PS4 version that I've seen, but this one I got for like $5. The DS version, the ABC Murders, and on the Wii, and Then There Were None, which is another game by the Adventure Company. And I'll buy just about anything from the PS2 era on that has the Adventure Company on it, because they publish games that I like to play, even if I don't feel like I have the time to get around to any of them. So we got And Then There Were None and the ABC Murders, both based off of Agatha Christie stuff. And then one more 3DS game. Again, going back to basically car combat. What is car combat? At the very least, you have a car that has guns and stuff all over it, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna grab this Spy Hunter. This is like, I basically, when you see these games like under $10 that might amount to being shovelware, but might not be. Like Spy Hunter is not going to be shovelware. It just happens to be published by WB, which, you know, is not the publisher you'd think would have it. But yeah, this is like, I got this for like $8 today. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, it's a car with guns on it. I love that stuff. Give it to me. One Xbone game. I said I was pretty much done with Xbone games, but one of the things GameStop has I went to GameStop today because I was killing time because I went to take my car for an oil change, and despite having an appointment, they were like, no, we can't do it now, coming back in 2 hours. I was like, I guess I'll kill time. I'll go to GameStop for the first time in like a month, 2 months maybe. But there was a 3 for $25. This is a good thing you should be aware of. 3 for $25 on $14.99 and under. So I couldn't actually find that much stuff that was $14.99, but this is one thing that was. But it's only on Xbox One. The Xbox One version is $14.99. The PS4 version is $20. So to get that deal, I had to get the Xbox One version. Usually I'll take anything on the PS4 that I can get on the PS4, but whatever. I've gotten so bad at like playing more than 30 minutes of like a survival horror game that is like truly survival based, because I'd rather play like a Resident Evil game where I feel like I have power. But I don't even like Alien that much, the movie at least, from what I've seen. But I do have a lot of interest in the Alien games, like Alien Trilogy or Aliens Infestation. And then this is, even though it's much less about shooting and stuff, I have an interest in this game. It looks cool. It's supposed to be pretty good. So. Also, if you care at all about getting these, especially if you're like, oh, those just went backwards compatible, don't go and try and get the 360 copies if you only want to play the campaign, but you can get these two for $1 each at GameStop because they have so many of them, and nobody wants them on PS3. If you just want them for the campaign like I did, I was like, you know what, they're $1. Give them to me. I used to be like, man, I don't even want to put them on my shelf. I'm so snobby and stuck up. I don't even care about shelf space. Just give me disc onlys. I'll stick them inside my other ones. And it's like, you know what? I really like the story modes in these games. I really like the campaign, especially Modern Warfare 2. How many people love the campaign of Modern Warfare 2? It's actually brilliant. So, you know what? Pick these up for $1. Don't pay the $10 that GameStop is charging for Modern Warfare 2 and 3 now that they're backwards compatible. Just stick them on the shelf for $1. Just go grab them with cases. So, that's a PSA. Come to Core Gaming. If we have Modern Warfare 3 or Modern Warfare 2 for the 360 and you do want the backwards compatibility to play online, we sell them for $4.99 because we're not assholes. I would love to get rid of 100 copies of Modern Warfare 2. Are you fucking kidding me? Take them for $4.99. We've sold 50 this week, I swear. Not 50. We will sell 50 by the end of the week, though, for $4.99. So, don't pay $15 for Modern Warfare 3. What the fuck is wrong with you? Anyway, lastly, this is PS4 games. This is one more thing that I grabbed today. I wasn't actually super interested in I was interested in this game, but I never wanted to pay very much for it because I know this is going to be in bargain bins. But I basically worked it into the 3 for $25 thing, so I was like, fine, I'll take that today. It's Lords of the Fallen, which everyone sort of refers to as the like the rip-off Dark Souls, whatever. As far as like real-time combat in RPGs, even if I never get around to playing any RPG fucking ever, I always am like, you know what, I want to see what the combat is like in it, and Lords of the Fallen is one of those games that I was like, yes, I definitely want to see if I can do the combat in there and if it's going to be interesting to me. And the combat seems to be the thing that people really liked about it, so if I get around to that eventually, I may really like it in a way that I didn't really like Dark Souls, so, or several other PS4 RPGs. This one, crazy excited about this. I'm so glad that it finally came. It just got here 2 days ago. The PS4 physical release, Fire Pro Wrestling World, with New Japan Pro Wrestling licenses. Look at that cover. You've got Kenny. You've got Okada. You've got, I always want to say Tanahashi. Hiroshi Tanahashi. Yeah. And you've got Naito. I want to make sure I don't say the other guy. This is this is a huge thing for me specifically because I want to learn more about New Japan, and I don't have a New Japan World. Who is it? Yeah, Hiroshi Tanahashi. That's what I was going to say. I almost said... Not Yoshihashi. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know why I can't remember who I almost said. I was going to say Tanahashi? Yeah. Hiroshi Tanahashi, Tetsuya Naito, a bunch of other New Japan guys. There's some guys that aren't in this because they're actually Ring of Honor people, like Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks. It's really weird to go to the Bullet Club section and only see 4 people because all the members of Bullet Club are actually Ring of Honor people that they don't want to flirt with that contract business stuff and get in trouble for it. So it came, you saw me flipping through it, it came actually with this Fire Pro Wrestling Almanac, where you, or an all New Japan Pro Wrestling Almanac, where with like profiles on all the wrestlers and stuff. I've been flipping through that. It's really, really cool. It's just a cool game, and I'm so glad. I keep bringing this up. I was checking it out on Amazon the week before it came out this past week. And on, basically 2 days before it came out, it was ranked number 32 for PS4 game sales. And the day it came out, it was ranked number 36. Which does not sound impressive at all, but I'm so happy about that. I'm so impressed by that. Because this is a super niche game. You have to appeal to wrestling fans who will buy a game day one and have it be New Japan Pro Wrestling. Like, if you're going to buy them at all. People who are fans of Fire Pro Wrestling and people who are fans of New Japan. Not WWE fans, that is the mass market. And this game has been out on Steam in a superior version because you can get all the mods and all the downloads and all that stuff that people have made from the community aspect of it for a year and a half. It's been out for a year and a half. I just wanted this with the awesome New Japan stuff in it, and I want to support Spike Chunsoft for making this. And I'm so happy that it actually charted pretty high for a retro-styled wrestling game whose only licenses are New Japan. And has been out for a year and a half. Amazing. Another game, I've actually been playing this. It's in the PS4 right now, and it's a masterpiece. This is the new God of War. I caved and I grabbed it, and I'm like a quarter of the way through it. It's so long, but it's just breathtaking. This is going to be one of the top 5 games I play this year. Everything you've heard about it is true. It's fantastic, and yeah, he says boy a lot, and it's fucking hilarious. One more game. Let me know how you feel about these red cases, but one more super Japanese game that I probably won't get to. These red cases for the PlayStation hits. Let me know how you feel about that. It's a really weird, really noticeable red. That because this is the only game on my shelf that's going to be in these red cases for a long time. Let me know how you feel about that. But Yakuza 0. One thing that really was really weird to me. So the PlayStation Hits line launched, I think, at the end of last month, or maybe the middle of last month. And all these games were $20. So I went to Best Buy the day that they were supposed to come out, or very shortly after they were supposed to come out. And I was like, oh, I want to grab Yakuza 0 because that game's been $30 and it'll hold its value. So I don't really think I'm going to get Yakuza 0 for much cheaper than the $16 I would have been paying for it at Best Buy. And they didn't have any. And I was like, that's weird. So I kind of forgot about it for a month. And then I was thinking about the PlayStation Hits. I saw an ad for them again. And I looked at the lineup again. And I was like, I still want that Yakuza 0. So I kind of looked it up. And I was like, why? Can you get this Yakuza 0? Did they still make enough of these? And it was so weird looking on eBay and seeing Yakuza 0s, even this version, sell for $25. I was like, what? Did they make a PlayStation Hits line and then not make any to sell because this is still a really not a super popular series? So I went back into Best Buy for actually something else, the next 2 games here. It was probably my most expensive trip to anywhere all month. And I saw the Yakuza 0 there, and I was like, God damn it, this is the first time I've seen it. So I'm going to grab the Yakuza 0 right now. And I still haven't opened it. I have like 5 other Yakuza games that I want to play. It's not 5, but Yakuza Kiwami for sure. And Yakuza Dead Souls, which people don't like as much, but is more in line with the kind of game I'd want to play. This takes place in the 80s. It's going to be super 80s. I'm actually really interested in that. But yeah, if you see the Yakuza 0 and you're at all interested in Yakuza, I would probably recommend picking it up, even if it's this ugly red that is going to stick out on your shelf. Because I don't know how many of these PlayStation Hits copies they made for a game that already doesn't have that many copies because it's Yakuza. So just keep that in mind if you're interested. And then these last 2 games, these specifically, I got recommended, or not recommended, but there's a guy on Instagram, his name's Corey Sally, Corey, Cory, underspace, Sallee, and make sure you're following him, as well as like Cheap Ass Gamer and stuff, because he posts deals that you can get all the time on all kinds of stuff, even vaguely related to games. And the first like really, really big deal of like, oh my god, thank you for telling me about this, was not so much this. This is Madden 18. I'll just say Madden 18. It's $15 at Best Buy right now, and it has Long Shot, the story mode. So I knew I was going to get it, even if it didn't have Brady on the front. And I already played Long Shot. It was really weird. It was all right. It was kind of like playing a weird knockoff Telltale game. But anyway, so I have Madden 18. Everyone else has Madden 19. I don't care. I'll get that because I think it continues the Long Shot story. So I'll get that in 2 years. But this is the last game here. It's Shadow of War Gold Edition. And this, I think, is still, I want to say it's still at Best Buy for $20. And usually with the Gold Edition stuff, I'm like, I don't care. I do not care. This in particular has story-based DLC, which is important to me. If you have a version of the game that has like DLC that concerns the story, that's when I really start to care about it. But also, I'm amazed that I was able to grab this for $20 because it is one of the nicest looking things. Like I do not really care about loot boxes. I don't care. I really don't want to feel like I paid for that stuff. But this is an absolutely gorgeous edition of this game. If you care about Lord of the Rings as much as I do, this is a kind of a must-have version of it because it is a gorgeous steelbook. It has this on the back with Talion and Celebrimbor. It's got the slipcover. I always like to have slipcovers. It's embossed, so it's got a texture to it on the front here. The inside of the steelbook has this map of Mordor in it that looks great. An absolutely gorgeous gold edition, basically. And like I said, there are 2 story-based expansions. That is the most important thing. And so with the Best Buy GCU, I paid $16 for this. And it is maybe my favorite purchase that I made this month because it is absolutely gorgeous. I finally finished Shadow of Mordor, Game of the Year edition, last month. And I was like, cool, I can buy this when I see it for cheap. And it's kept going down. But this is one of the best deals you can get on it. It looks absolutely gorgeous. And it's not any bigger than a regular PS4 game, which is always the thing with collector's edition. So yeah, absolutely gorgeous. I love this thing. And thank you, Corey Sally, for pointing that out. Go follow him on Instagram. He's always doing some really helpful alerts in his Instagram stories. So that's it for this month. I managed to fill up a lot of space talking about stuff and when to buy it and all that. So keep watching N64 stuff as I see fit to make it and whatnot. And I'll see y'all next month for more games.